to us live from Direct Sama's apartment. Well, he's at his apartment. We're all at our apartments, but we're here for PostBots. We have come together on the interwebs, and thank you for joining us and coming together with us. We've got a couple people in the audience. Good to see you all here, and we've got some fun games to talk about. But first, let's introduce everyone on screen. Below me is the... actually, I've been meaning to ask, are you the creator of AI Arena? Who's one of the creators?
So essentially, that's an interesting topic because AI Arena was started by Mind. I was going to say Mind Me, but someone called Mind Games. Yes.
Oh, the guy who I thought was Mind Me last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, he started AI Arena. I started SC2AI. SC2AI and AI Arena merged, so we're now one giant, great entity between
Yeah, I kind of remember that merger.
So
okay.
yeah, but SC2AI was started first, and then we're all one big happy family now. So
okay, well, I've got more questions about that. But below me is Cryptious, right? That's how we.
Yes.
I kept saying Cryptious. I want to say like Cryptious, like it's cryptic, or something.
That's the origin of the name. So
there you go.
It was like I started off as Crypt, and the name got mashed because I couldn't enter my name into a million different username things because everyone had already taken it. So it turned out to be Cryptious because I thought it sounded cool. But
it does.
Yeah.
I like it. Now a guy with a less exciting name, but with very exciting bunnies behind him, with even less exciting names than him. It is Endersword.
Yes.
With his bunny and other bunny.
Exactly. But same thing. I added the sword because Ender's always taken.
Yes.
And everything. But now because of stupid fucking Minecraft, Ender Sword is always taken. Because there is now an Ender Sword that exists. And that
you'll never be able to name the Ender Sword on anything again.
Yeah, that's it. In any new game now, it's taken, which confused me for a while till I found that out.
Those jerks.
Exactly.
Well, and in the bottom right there, he's here in spirit with that lovely animation. Ketrock should be maybe joining us if he gets here. We'll find out. All right. Well, we're all here. Drixon was running things in the background. Let's talk some ProBots. We had some exciting games last night. Some upsets, I would say. We have our fantasy brackets we can take a look at and see just how many people got something wrong. I believe everybody. There's not a perfect bracket already, so well done there, everybody.
Although
Damn
I claim technically there is, but we'll see it.
Let's go ahead and pull up the bracket actually and take a look at some of these things. I like the upsets personally.
It makes it interesting.
Makes it interesting. This
definitely.
is a tournament. You're here to win. You got to do whatever it takes to get that W. And here we are. -0 taking a win. Benbot in I think that was probably our closest series. Very back and forth.
Yeah.
Benbot versus Sharkbot. And then Ketrock and Kaninana, one of our new bots. And then Micro Machine versus Dovahkiin, the Dragonborn. Who did you pick to win the whole thing, Cryptious?
So my pick was Eris. I still think that Eris is possibly almost favourite, especially with Micro Machine down in the lower bracket now. But certainly, Eris and -0 would probably be my two favourites, with Ketrock maybe standing there, but it's going to be... There's some very, very tough bots in there, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and Eris is currently #1 on the ladder, right? Yeah. So just absolutely dominant.
It's actually very, very close at the moment between the top few. And Zoe is actually really high up there as well.
Oh, yeah. Zoe's #2, right behind
her. You can't discount Zoe out because I know that that's been worked on quite a lot. And so... I mean, maybe as an outside pick, you could probably have a look at Zoe, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of liking my bracket predictions. I have Micro Machine and Ketrock both getting into the top 4, and they're 3rd and 4th on the ladder there. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting. And you said, who'd you say, Endersword? Who you think's going to win?
I said Eris as well.
Eris as well. That's right.
Yeah. I think that's
a lot of love for Eris.
That's definitely the majority pick at the moment. Yeah,
for sure.
It was
Drek. Did you fill out? I don't think Drek filled out a bracket.
Did
can't
he not?
Be biased.
He did not.
You did not.
What a punk.
Yep. No, fair. Although Eris has a very tough first match against GensiBot.
You think so? You think Gensi stands a chance here?
It depends. Like, I don't think Gensi's been updated in a while, which kind of
Oh,
works against it.
I thought he was
But
working on updates.
I'm
Oh,
not
I must
sure.
have misread
Certainly,
somewhere.
if he's been updating the bot and like, because it always previously was a very, very tough bot.
Oh yeah.
But like, if it's been updated since then, or if it's been updated specifically for this tournament, then that's not going to be a walkover for Eris, definitely.
Yeah, Gensi, and I actually have Gensi as my pick, not just because I love Gensi bots, because I do, but we saw was it last season, either last or the season before, Gensi was one of the few bots that actually was able to hold Eris off. That it was that continuous, stream of Marines kept really pushing some. I believe it was Eris's bases, but Eris with just crazy macro and multitasking was able to eventually hold it off. But still, Gensi bot has definitely got some chops here. So I'm rooting for Gensi. My bracket depends on it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Gensi has some of the best like control or that we've seen in the past. That like the army control works really well, the coordination works really well. Where Gensi's lacking is the overall strategy of what it's doing. So I think that needs like a lot of the bots that are doing really well. It's like their strategy is very well laid out and where they're trying to get, and it's often pushing later and later game, being very patient. Gensi is focused on making an attack and making that attack work, which is good tactically. It's probably the best tactical bot, but it's just a simple strategy.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of it can't deal with a lot of the nuances that some of these bots are starting to work in. All right, and then we of course have to talk about the prediction bracket. Technically the didn't get them all right, but intentionally didn't get them all right. So do we count it as correct?
To me, that's it. Yeah, because Rasper made a bracket called "Trying to Get More Wrong Than Andy Man."
So far, that has been true.
He tried to pick them all wrong.
2 for 4.
Yeah, and he got all 4 wrong, but he was trying to get them all wrong, which means that he was right.
Yeah.
So he's the only perfect, unperfect
that's
bracket.
what is that? That breaks a bot. That's how you kill an AI. You give it a
paradox.
The paradox. Yeah, it's a paradox almost.
Yeah.
Good job, Rasper, with your predictions there. 0 for 4. But yeah, here's mine. About what I would expect. I'm not very good at guessing. So.
I mean, 50-50, so I think you have the same one as me, top half, so yeah.
Yeah, that Sharkbot Benbot game definitely was very razor's edge. That was no one knew which way that one was gonna go.
Yeah, even in the middle of the games, like the one
middle of the game more so.
Yeah, the one game where Micro Machine was about 3 or 4 seconds away from getting a Reaper out. Could have gone definitely.
It could have. That one absolutely. We've seen Micro Machine do that before, where he can just barely squeeze that Reaper out, and then everything just turns back around for him. Definitely not unheard of, but here we go. Here's
there's mine.
3 for 4.
Yeah. So again, the Micro Machine wrong. The rest is okay. And then I had Micro Machine losing this match to Ketrog anyway, so I'm not too hurt.
Yeah.
In what goes on.
Yeah. Me, however, that's entirely different story. Yeah, the weird thing is we actually had a stream last week where we were looking at some of the brackets and who was think would win, and like I originally said like Benbot was going to win, and I was the only person on that stream to say Benbot was going to win, despite being the only Protoss, and then like everyone else was like. Protoss hating people said Sharkbot was going to win, and then when I filled out my bracket, I was kind of thinking about it and looking through it, and kind of switched my pick, and I kind of wish I hadn't now. But, yeah.
So wait, hold on. I'm looking. Is Kani Nana going to meet Dovahkiin?
No, because it'll be Micro Machine down there.
Oh yeah.
Now. So that's what that's what a lot of people had predicted, obviously. But now it'll be Kanina and Kaninana and Micro Machine. That'll be an interesting one.
That will be. Yeah. I think Yada Hunt's working on the snipes. He wants to take these big dogs out. Get them out of the tournament. You got to watch out for that because it's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah.
And it can knock you out, if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I think I think Ketrok's gonna have something planned for the worker rush though. So
Ketrok seems to be one of the more successful bots in holding the
Yeah.
worker rush and stuff. It seems like his is a little bit. He has a higher success rate from what I've seen.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what the approach is. Like, is it just going to be a fast wall off, or is he relying on micro or something to do it?
I don't
He
know.
does. Well, he does stuff. He'll lift off his base and just leave, right? Like we were talking about that, joking about it a little last time. But isn't that one of his strategies where he's just like, "Oh, you're rushing me? Okay, see, I'll just go over here."
Yeah.
And it can work.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that when Dovahkiin actually takes over the main, the remaining drones don't actually kill the rest of the buildings. They were like just vibrating in the middle and then waited for Lings to come and do it. So it could be valid to lift off and go somewhere else and
absolutely,
whatever. Yeah.
Especially the sooner you do it. If you do it right away and get away with it, you're gonna have that much more time to recover while the Zergling, because he's only got 2 workers back at home to get that pool, get the Zerglings.
I can already think the Protoss response to it could be building nothing and sending 1 ProBot to put a Nexus somewhere else, and then recalling everything to that Nexus.
It's a good idea. I might put that in my next bot.
Yeah. It would work. It wouldn't know where to look for it, and then by the time it did find it, then you would, you would have something built.
Wouldn't you? You would have to pretty much rush to Nexus, though.
You Nexus first.
Plan on getting Nexus first, no matter what. And then if you see the workers, go build it somewhere else. But if you don't, just build it in your natural.
Way back in the day, when Day 9 used to do like the Fun Day Monday things. So he had a challenge that was, what is the earliest that you could do a Manor Nexus and still win the game? And it had to be like on ladder. To do it. So I got a Nexus down in my opponent's base at 1 minute and 47 seconds. This is before like...
But you win it?
I think a bunch of us tied because it's literally like mathematically the fastest you could do it.
Gotcha.
I guess it's map dependent as well.
Yeah.
So,
But you had to basically make, I think it was when you started with 6 workers. You went up to 8, but you sent 1 immediately. And then as your probe got there, you could put the Nexus down. Yeah, it was, and then you go DTs, obviously. Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I always thought Void Rays back then, but never mind.
I love the Void Rays are still beautiful in my eyes. They always have been and always will be. You can change them all you want. They're great. All right, let's look at some clips. We got some video, some games to look at to analyze here. Now this one. This was the crash. Did we still didn't figure out what happened, right? Not
so
crash.
This was the first one.
Self-termination? Is that what we call it?
It was,
I thought it was
wasn't
Phantom
this.
that crashed.
No. Okay.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it was
I thought it was
Phantom
Phantom Bot.
Yeah, I thought that was the case too, because it wasn't the first. Was it? Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, then we're full of it, Cryptious. We're just we're liars.
Yeah, because I thought.
So this, this one though, this attack I thought was good, but we kind of saw there, like when he first came up, I think there was an opportunity to do some damage, but then the roaches just kind of hung back.
Yeah, at this point, if you can get some Ravagers out and just sit there and just spam biles, you can do some pretty serious damage.
Yeah, and I don't know if this will loop back to where it was, but there was a point, like even just the initial when, like he really timed out the Lings and the roaches very well. Like I could tell what it was trying to do, which is pump out some roaches, have speed finish, have a bunch of Lings join up with them later, and that worked. But then they didn't attack. Yeah. So it just kind of
Well, didn't it kind of shoot itself in the foot by forcing all those adepts too?
Well, in the first game, yeah. So the first game he kept poking with a bunch of Lings, forced a bunch of adepts, but that's what he was trying to make anyway. Yeah. He slowed it down by, I think he said like 42 seconds, but that's fine. So yeah, you always got to kind of, if you're going to force something out of your opponent, make sure you have the counter to that thing. And and I think he was going to, which is he was going into Spire, and then he was going to be able to counter adepts with mutas. but they hit too soon, and so you only made like 3 of them. And then the other, much more important thing, didn't code the mutas to realize that the adepts couldn't hit them because they acted scared of the adepts.
I mean, that's quite sort of like some basic stuff you can fix pretty easily, though.
Yeah.
And what I would say is Phantom is quite a new bot on the ladder.
Yeah.
It's to make it into this tournament and face up against the rank 1, the previous champion. I mean, and he pretty much had him on the ropes for a few minutes in the early game there. So, I mean, I've got quite reasonable hopes for Phantom coming through the lower bracket, actually. I want to see some more of him. Maybe not against the top-ranked bot, and see how he gets on.
Yeah, exactly. It was a coherent, like everything about those 2 games, it was a coherent plan that made a lot of sense. It was just against a very strong opponent.
Well, I feel like that almost played into -0 style, doesn't it? -0 is very reactionary, so it wants to start the attacks early. It wants to be put on, so it can constantly have information and constantly control the state of the battles a little bit. So by attacking early, isn't that kind of playing into -0's hand a little bit?
In a way, -0 does like to throw out adepts anyway, though. So
yeah, exactly. You're forcing it to make what it wanted to make anyway. That's the big difference. That there would have been ways to, and I think again he was on the cusp of it, which is like going into the mutas, but knowing he had to buy time to get there makes sense. But there's ways to do that a little different, and I think he did it with a very aggro approach of throwing lings at it. But he could have done it with a more like control the space, don't attack, but just if anything tries to come out, swarm it, sort of thing, and see if you can back them up. But
For show. All right, we got more clips. Play more clips. I need more. That's what I'm here for. That's the only reason I show up is for these clips. Now, weren't we doing something? Did we get notes for today? I thought we were doing something
something else.
Failbots? Do we have failbots? Next week we're doing something. Oh, okay.
So this was kind of the failed rush
here. Got shut down hard. So it just both these bots will not be cheesed. But now what pulled the SCV over here? Was it the probe?
So it was the probe that went up to build those pylons.
I thought that was a different probe, though.
Yeah, I thought there were 2 probes.
Because there's a probe down the middle there being chased.
Can we go back?
Because he sent 2. Yeah, he sent 2.
Yeah, he'll go back in it. Well, it'll loop back around here. Oh, he's gonna start over. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there were 2.
He sent 2 out. One went to the main, one went to the other spot. Okay. I don't know. I'm curious what the idea was with the one in the main, the placement of the 2 pylons. I don't know if he was trying to wall it or just prevent him from walling.
Now, was that intentional too, or was that an accident? That was cool. The little probe block.
So I think in the second game, Benbot just got stuck on trying to build this barracks over here.
We kept saying he identified the problem. he did not identify the solution to that. Was don't send another one.
Well, it's send one at a time, but only once the one building on the other side of the map has died. Like they're all just waiting at home, waiting for the news. All right, next SCV, it's your turn. We didn't hear back from the other guy, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, imagine being that next SCV in line, going like, "Please, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to go."
You just get shoved out. Go, build. But no, it did eventually almost stabilize for Benbot and Sharkbot. Almost through this a little bit. Because this was the air game, right? Where the voids and all that just were choosing some questionable attacks.
Yeah.
When they really could have just used that airspace to their advantage and gone into the main.
But here's where you can tell it's going to be a really bad series for Sharkbot, is because you have such a great start and you literally have them dead to rights.
Map. You got the whole map.
Yeah. And you're still sort of like fighting for trying to finish.
I'm sorry. This was the Sharkbot did win this one. But
he did win, but it's only because he ran out of money basically on Benbot's side, which is good. That's why you're controlling the bases, and he's got something down on that bottom corner as well. So I mean, there was also things in here that were like unnecessary. So like the mothership is like almost it's unnecessarily memeing
I
Yeah.
on
want to see a mothership
yeah
recall a whole army into somebody's main stall. That is
yeah.
we need
Yeah.
that.
It would have made sense here.
It's kind of one of
Even
the
though
only viable things
yeah
anymore, I think.
yeah, this is really one where like again it's a trivial thing for a human to look at this and be like my angle of attack is totally wrong, but I think it's totally unintuitive for a bot to back up, go north, and then come back again,
Yeah.
because that's what it should have done. It should have gone completely to the top side of the main base, and there's no defense there. It would have
This is
been
just pushing.
it would have been
straight
over in a couple
towards-
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's one straight
he's pushing into a concave, like one of the worst concaves that could exist.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this the one? Yeah, where the zealot was like running with
Yeah.
the marines. That was a
Yeah, and then
maybe a flip
chasing
of
the yeah.
I mean, you got a fair few kills actually.
Just act,
like...
act like you belong.
One of us. One of us.
The Widow Mines, I think they were definitely some of the real MVPs
Yeah.
in this series as well. We need more Widow Mines. I'm just going to keep saying that over until we get every Terran bot
Good.
building Widow Mines.
Good unit.
It's going to be Widow Mine bots. That's all we're going to have anymore.
They've been nerfed, so I mean, obviously not in the AI maps at the moment. Although,
How do you feel about Oracles, Cryptious?
when used like Sharkbot's being using them, probably not. But you know, they're probably a bit underused in AI games at the moment.
He's one of the only ones that
Yeah.
uses them, I think.
Yeah.
Is there... we've seen
We
one
had
other
the
bot.
one like I mean we've seen tons of people try and use them, but to the point that it's become a running joke. I'm pretty sure across 11 seasons of ProBots, Oracles have been built probably like 500 times and they've killed 4 units.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like
But
they
wasn't
just
there one game where they actually did get some kill, like a good amount of kills?
yeah, I think it was
there was
something.
one
Yeah, there was
game.
one game where we kind of said this is like redemption or something. But even then, I think it was like four or something, and we were like, "There, that's the best performing Oracle ever."
It's probably for the same reason that AI bots don't really use like Storm and big AoE effects as much as well. It's because it's, well, I say that just as they're using Storm.
Yeah.
But in generally speaking, like Storm is not a big spell in the AI world as it is in the human
Okay,
world.
so look.
Okay,
Yeah, so
see this
there's-
again.
Yeah, see,
So
there's
see-
somebody else already building
It
down
was
there to the right.
yeah. So
yes.
it was
Oh,
it
it
was
was
there,
just a scout.
yeah. There was an SCV
Ah, yeah.
scout that came
Sorry.
back that was checking the third, and then
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, basically the reason that the Oracle is so bad is because it's so easy to counter and dodge. Because often, like bots are ready for early aggression. It's what they're used to on the ladder, and the Oracle is kind of almost the weakest form of early aggression they're likely to face. And because they can react immediately, unlike a human player, which is like, well, even at pro level, like they react pretty quickly. At my level, like I look away and like half my worker line is dead.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's what they rely on, is that you're not watching. The bots are
Exactly.
always watching. They can
Yeah.
always see.
I'd like to see an Oracle though used, not an Oracle, but slightly later in the game, make like 5 or 6 of them and use them for building sniping. Because I think it would be easier to tell the Oracle to do something like that successfully. It's a static structure.
And everybody just go in and attack this.
Yeah, just like
no matter
snipe
what.
the spire, snipe some key piece of tech. Because we've seen so many bots that like really get confused when a building dies that was important or something, and like especially if you snipe like add-ons for a Terran or something like that, it would be it seems to be confusing to a lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, more clips. Keep
Go
them
for it.
coming. I'm hungry for clips. I need more. More Widow Mines.
This
here
this
we
is
go.
the Widow
yeah,
Mines.
yeah,
Yeah.
This was the real Widow Mine MVPs.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Still, they were still good last game. They still did a good job. Oh yeah, we had some juicy hits. The first one wasn't, but the second one. Oh no! Oh, okay,
No, this was
rewind.
the
I was
same
like, why
one.
would
Yeah,
you
this is the
cut it?
same one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you cut the clip? No, it's a juicy shot. I just
there's
like
a
watching
few-
Germans die. Is that wrong of me? Do you
Yes.
enjoy watching all these living, unique
Yes.
creatures just get splattered?
You monster.
Yeah. Who's the blue monster now?
But yeah, there's some really nice within line shots in this. And,
How would you grill a zergling?
Um,
Or cook a zergling? Would you roast it? Would you grill it? Would you
deep fry?
No, I think
deep
you'd
fry?
have to grill
Ooh,
it.
deep fried, like a deep fried turkey leg, but deep fried zergling.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're more like crispy chicken legs or something.
Oh,
But
that'd
sorry.
be like wing style, like
yeah,
wings?
yeah,
Crispy
crispy
wings.
Zerg wings. Yeah, because essentially, the upgrade for Zergling wings.
Oh, look at this.
True. Makes sense.
Where do you think they got the idea for the Zergling wings?
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Well, I
Korean
figure
barbecue
the
would
wings
make
to me
sense.
seem like they'd be more like pork rinds or something, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So apparently we'll be doing a Q&A for the hosts and guests at the end of the show. If you have questions. Oh, okay. Cool. I like this idea. So yeah, get your questions ready. Ask us things. It can be anything. Doesn't have to be bot related. Oh, these hydras, man. This was the game. Yeah, so this was where Connie
This
Nana
was
was
one
set
where it
up
looked good. Yeah.
to win, and so but what we just don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened there. Just something.
So it wasn't really like a slam dunk win for Kaninana, but he did have a chance.
It was
like,
he had an advantage for sure.
Yes, certainly. But again, pretty new bot. Hatosh has come on, and he's really involved in the community as well. So he's sort of like been making an awesome bot. So yeah, I see potential there. And,
for sure. Well, it was setting up for the late game, so
yeah. Hopefully, he can make a run in the lower bracket.
Yeah. Who's he going? Oh, we don't know who's going up against next, but
yeah, we should because it's.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. They do just go down 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so it'll be against Dovahkiin, or not Dovahkiin, Micro Machine.
Machine. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Rough.
Yeah.
Man, what a rough intro, and that does kind of happen sometimes. Ketrock and Micro Machine, two of our like top Terrans.
Yeah, that's harsh. But I mean, we never know.
Yeah, you never know. We'll see what happens. Even Micro Machine has his moments where he breaks and doesn't, something goes wrong. It's not unheard of.
Maybe Kaninana has the odd worker rush built in occasion.
Yeah, we'll see. That is one of Micro Machine's. That is one of the only ways to beat him. That's why we see it, is because he's such a good bot that if you want to win, if you want to move on in the tournament, that's just one of the ways to do it. So.
Definitely.
Indeed.
You can hate it all you want. You can hate the worker rushes all you want, but they're not going anywhere for now. So
I think we're about to see one, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I'm just bracing everybody. Get emotionally prepared. If you're Terran and got some salt, then it's okay. You can have your salty.
Yeah.
See, here I wonder if so he had a few SCVs that were defending the building one, and he pulled them back to the mineral line to engage over there. I kind of wonder if he potentially is better off keeping keeping them to defend, because this whole thing is to buy time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to either go for one or the other. You have to go for the mineral line or go for the barracks.
Yeah.
And, it's.
This is a very well executed worker rush.
I like the way Dovahkiin just sends two drones over to the barracks to guard that, and then the rest of them go to attack the rest of the worker line. That that's really
really intelligent. If you can stop that SCV from building, then easy win there for sure.
But I think he's kind of like seen a weakness in Micro Machine, that he will just carry on sending a single SCV and a single SCV. So if you got two drones over there, you can just go and snipe that.
See, it's this that, like, because these two initially engaged, he wasn't getting damage on the builder, but then they took off.
Go back,
So I think if they had stayed, then this finishes. Although then I don't know, because he's not really pushing the fight over there. He's engaging, but not too much. And I think
that's why the drones are so smart, because they're pulling back, right? That's why. Is that what you're talking about? How they're
just but I wonder if you can exploit that to be, because they're not in any hurry. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, they don't. As long as they're keeping the workers from mining, then it's working. Yeah.
And they didn't seem to really care if that one was mining gas until the rest were gone.
Yeah.
So they could pull them somewhere else, and whatever.
Well, you can build things without gas, but you can't build things without minerals. That
true.
makes
But
sense. Well,
but
at least
the
that's I'm assuming.
but
why
the
that's
thing you need, the thing you need is the Reapers. So that
Yeah.
that's what makes sense. But yeah.
Well, because we saw last season when Micro Machine got worker rushed, he tried the Marine defense, and the Marine, got a few shots off and was able, but it can't run away from the drones effectively enough.
Yeah.
By itself, but the Reaper can. So yeah, it's all about that Reaper, baby.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's a few. I'm trying to think of like other ways to exploit it. So what if, as the drones come in, you actually run your SCVs out of the base. You leave one or two in the middle line, run your SCVs out of the base, and the last one out builds a supply depot.
Oh, and seal them in.
Oh, and then
I like that.
Then float your command center out. Then you've got your barracks. You've got your barracks still building. Your SCVs on the outside. So if you have to replace it because it went in, you do it from the outside.
Well, wouldn't the drones just attack the depots, and then you don't have any money to repair,
they could
or
attack,
if the building's not even finished?
Well, you only have to float your command center over to the natural, and then you can start mining again.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you only need to delay them, like 10, 20 seconds. That's
you could even leave like an SCV or two as like the rodeo clown and just have them.
Yeah, like something to make sure that they don't chase everything out. But that would be interesting.
That's another American reference. Drek has problem with American references sometimes. Do you know what a rodeo clown is, Drek?
No,
I understand that.
It's not. There's a rodeo in Canada too, the Calgary Stampede.
I have no idea what a rodeo
You don't even know
is.
the rodeo clown is the one. So in bull, by the way, I wholeheartedly hate this sport. It's very, very. Anyway, the bull riders, they're riding the bull and trying not to get bucked off. When they get bucked off, you got to have the clown come in to distract the bull because the clown's all flashy and showing, got the colors. So the bull's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you now." So the rider doesn't get gored as he lays on the ground unconscious or whatever happened because he got kicked off a giant 2-ton beast or whatever. So now you all know what the rodeo clown is.
Indeed.
See, you learn something new every day here on PostBots.
Absolutely.
It's a legitimate profession.
It is. Bobby Hill was a rodeo clown for a little while on King of the Hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous profession.
It seemed like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally your job is to convince a bull to attack you.
Yeah.
That's what you're
you're
doing.
You're the tank in World of Warcraft, essentially.
You're trying to pull aggro. Yeah.
Pull aggro on the bull.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a winning proposition.
No.
Got some audience questions.
Yeah.
All right, we have questions. All right, was that all our clips? That is all our clips.
Yeah.
That was all the clips.
I do want to talk a little bit more about AI Arena 2 before we're done, and kind of how what you got going on over there, because you have a lot of activity going on now. Things are growing.
Yeah.
You've got 2 ladders now, right?
So no, we only have 1 ladder, but we have 2 divisions.
Okay.
So essentially, it
right.
works as like a division because essentially we have like, I don't know, probably about 60 odd bots in the last season. I think I don't have the exact number.
And that's not authors, right? That's just some authors can have multiple bots, but you have 60 bots total, roughly.
Yes, yeah. So essentially, it got to a point where if we're running sort of like every bot plays every bot, you get so huge number of matches that you just can't do it. So essentially, we split them into 2 divisions. At the end of every round, essentially the ones with the highest elo go up the division, and the ones with the lowest elo will go down the division.
Kind of like how Code S in GSL, right?
Relegation.
Kind of Code S, Code A, Code
or the Premier League.
The Premier League.
I don't know. That's how soccer works, right? They kick teams out.
They can just get a nice big Saudi owner in there and buy them back in. That works as well. We don't accept bribes. We don't accept bribes to go into the upper division. I must say that. So
Well, then I have no chance. Okay.
Sorry. But it seems to be going well.
And can the bot authors can update their bots whenever, right? Like as opposed to here, you only get a couple updates for our tournament, but this is just constantly updating and getting better, right?
Everything's constantly running all the time and updating, and you can pretty much upload whenever you like. We're quite easy on that, and essentially we run this as kind of like a testing ground, a proving ground, and then the tournaments are more kind of like, this is where we find out who's kind of the best.
Yeah, and you have your own tournament from time to time, right?
Yes, so we had a little break for it. We had a tournament just after Christmas. Micro Machine won again.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, he's won every single one, right? Isn't
no, he's won
or...
5. He's won 5 in a
okay.
row.
Nice.
So we've had 12 tournaments. Micro Machines won 5 of them.
Nice.
It happened to be the last 5 as well. So essentially, there was kind of a joke going around that we started the tournament after Christmas just because Raf had run a bit short on cash. So, you know, we kind of just set up a standing order to him whenever we run the tournament, and
Gotta keep that income. I get it.
yeah, no, that's not true, by the way. That's just a joke that's going around,
Yes.
obviously.
This is not admission of guilt. This will not hold up in a court of law. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely. But no, he's done brilliantly, and you know, saying something about Micro Machine, like, yeah, he's getting sort of like a lot of competition now, but for a very long time, Micro Machine was the top bot and the standard to go for, and I think it shows what a great bot we've had over the years, that he's still up there despite not having as many updates, I think.
Well, even with the minimal updates, these authors are still having to constantly change things to keep up with him from time to time. Yeah,
definitely.
and that just shows how well that he was built, kind of from the ground up. So
yeah,
stuff.
That's good. But yeah, so we're planning on doing another tournament in the summer. So we're moving to doing 2 a year. So yeah, that's gonna.
Well, I will definitely watch that.
Yeah, gonna be good.
All right, we got questions. Give me questions.
All right,
Jack.
here it comes.
Here it comes.
This is from.
double.
Yeah, you'll
Double
probably
Jack.
hear me. Why do you hear me twice?
I don't know, because you're talking twice. Double Jack all of a sudden.
Oh, I know why. Oh, I know why. You'll have to mute me on Discord or something.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just
all
put
right.
it here. Okay, go.
All right, so here we go. From Yada.
They hear you?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, okay.
You can hear me on Discord because I
Oh,
turned it
that
on
makes
so that
sense.
they can hear me, and they can hear me here on the VOD. They'll be.
Well, say hi,
so-
Drek. As everybody say hi. Drek is making a very rare appearance here on ProBots. Enjoy it
give
while
you
it
the
lasts.
question.
Yes. Okay.
Just
Go
for
ahead.
the voice of God. When running SC2AI before AI Arena, how was the server configuration? 1 PC, 2 PC, 3 PC, Windows. I'm pretty sure this is to Cryptious.
Yeah. So
Not me.
essentially, when we first started, it was all run from my laptop in my bedroom, which it was kind of like pretty ghetto at the start. It was just like, hey, they've just released a new API for StarCraft 2. Why don't we run a ladder with some random bots on it? So I had a spare laptop, so it ended up with me having the responsibility of running everything. But the website was always run off like a hosted server, so we basically got infrastructure from that. But all the games were originally, I think, for the first 3 seasons, just run off my laptop before my laptop eventually let the magic smoke escape, and then I ended up building another PC for it, and that was hidden away under my kitchen table and running all the games on Windows. And that was pretty much all the way up until we merged with AI Arena when we started using Linux machines. So essentially, we had lots of problems because, like, I did explore the possibility of moving to Linux, but there was lots of problems between bots that would run on Linux but wouldn't run on Windows, and then people wouldn't be able to kind of run them on Linux. So we solved those problems now. But yeah, essentially, we had the problem that everything had to be run on Windows, and we couldn't run it on a remote machine because StarCraft doesn't run on over a remote desktop. So it had to be a local machine, and it probably from about season 4 up until season 11 when we finally discontinued the Windows ladder, we were running on a nice little machine I built in my kitchen. So yeah, I still have that machine. It's still shut down downstairs and living happily in Silicon Heaven. Maybe.
I'm assuming there's plans for a big corporate office at some point with big server room and all that jazz.
Are you paying?
Someone will, I'm sure. Yeah, we're getting people are, we're getting a lot of people in the community. Some rich entrepreneur one day might just be like, hey, I need you to make this better. Hey,
there's no real plans for lots of expansion. Although we did actually build, Laddie has actually been doing a lot of the building of the Arena website, and he's been absolutely brilliant with that. And like there is room for other games now. So there's been talk of doing kind of like, I think we were talking the other day, maybe doing a poker, and there's like there's a race car simulator called Talks, which has an AI kind of like ladder as well. So like there's possibilities. Like I'm not going to promise anything, but there's possibilities that we might be expanding into other games as well. But that is not that's not official yet.
What about Rocket
we're
League?
looking at.
Very cool.
I'd like to Rocket League, but they've already got a like really vibrant community of their own, so it's possible. But like there's other difficulties with running Rocket League games as well. So yeah, I looked into it briefly, but it's difficult, I think, is the answer to that one.
Well, that's a good way to attract a new demographic and just get more people into the community. And these games will bridge over. People into StarCraft might also be into this game and make a bot for both. Like, mind me saying he'd totally build a poker bot.
Poker would be an interesting one. You could more easily have people casually play those as well, probably. And you could have it with multiple bots at a table.
Yeah, I did actually build a poker bot before building a StarCraft bot.
Because I know that in Limit Poker, it's like solved.
It's solved for Limit Poker. For 2 people.
For 2
it's
people.
Solved. Yeah. So for heads up play and Limit Poker, it's a solved game. For everything else, it's still very much not. But yeah.
So what happens when you add more than 2 players? It just the chances of hands change and stuff.
Yeah, because essentially you have three different sort of like entry points. If you have 2 players, each player can have one of the 200 and something hands, I think it is. I can't remember the exact number. But then you add like a third person, and that's like an exponential number of extra possible hands that are in play at the moment, plus all the possible decisions that third person can take. So it gets the numbers in there get immense.
Everyone is just exponentially more.
With 2 people in Limit Poker. So Limit Poker people don't play that much anymore. That's what I used to do professionally, was Limit Poker. But you only make a binary decision. You either raise or call or fold. And then the raise, it's determined, it's already a set amount, so you can't decide do it a lot. So it's like you raise $10, you call.
So there's no bluffing or anything like that.
You can bluff by raising, but it's a set amount. You can't say I'm going to raise 700 or something. So
whereas
it's good at that because literally all you do in that is say, am I, with one other person, am I better than 50-50 in this? And if I could determine that I am, then I raise, and if not, then I don't, or whatever. So it's a simpler problem, but you start adding other people, and now it's So if I raise, am I going to get 2 calls? Am I going to get this, that?
Yeah, I think it's worth also explaining what we mean by a solved game, and essentially what we mean is that like there's been a computer or an AI system that's managed to map out every single combination of every single hand that you can have, every single hand that your opponent can have, and every single action you can take for all of those hands, and decide which is the optimal action for all of those scenarios. So essentially, although in Limit Poker there is still a huge number of scenarios you can have, there is a finite number that an AI has managed to map out. When you add a third person, that is exponentially more complex and almost impossible to map out using that kind of system.
Yeah, exactly. You take everything to the power of 3 instead of 2, and it just explodes. And then no Limit Poker. So again, there's bots that do it very well. So they had one bot that it could play a 6-person game, but with certain conditions. So they made sure the stacks were relatively even. It didn't understand the idea of having way more money or having way less money than the others. But they had him play against a bunch of professional players for a long time. I think they got Doug Polk and a few guys to play 10,000 hands each against it. And it won, it edged out a little bit. It won, eked out a little amount. I think 1 big blind every 100 hands or something like that. So
Yeah.
it was doing well. So that, but that's not, the difference between that, a solved game is checkers. A game that a computer's better than humans at is like chess. But you could never solve chess probably. Like there's too many positions.
Well, there's too many combinations.
Yeah,
too
more
many.
combinations than like atoms in the universe sort of
Well, and
thing.
it's because it's like StarCraft. It builds every step builds on the next, and it's the paths you can take together.
Exactly.
It's a similar situation in Go as well for a long time, which is why the computers couldn't beat humans at Go, is because the amount of scenarios was also more vast than chess. And while humans have intuition and you can immediately see kind of like, okay, I've seen this position here and I see this pattern, it's far more difficult for a computer to pick out those patterns.
Yeah, exactly. So, in chess at any given time, there's probably only like 8 legal moves in a position, or whatever. Probably a little more than that, but a finite amount. Whereas in Go, I think there's like 200 or something that you could do at any time, and it doesn't really get any smaller.
Yeah.
So, especially, I think the biggest thing too is the beginning step. So in chess, there's only 20, I want to say 20 legal moves. So there's pawn up 1 times 8, pawn up 2 times 8.
Oh, yeah, times 2. So 16.
Knight one way, knight other way, knight one way, knight other way. So I think 20 legal moves that you could do at the beginning. Yeah. Whereas in Go, at the very beginning, there's as many legal moves as there are squares on the board, and then it gets smaller. Whereas in chess, it goes the other way. As it opens up, you can, whatever. So it's easier to do it from a small, limited space than it is like a large space inwards. So that's why it's easier to learn chess than that. It's also why it was easier for an AI to learn Dota compared to StarCraft 2. Because at the start of Dota, if you just wander around, then you're going to get gold and XP and stuff. Like, you can luck your way into a good result, whereas in StarCraft, you're like, here, do anything. It will, like, never on its own, figure out anything, because there's nothing constraining it. Yeah.
And now, what about, have you seen, Dirk wants us to talk about this Gran Turismo, Sophie something. I haven't seen a whole lot, other than there was that one reporter that wrote that it's like harder to do than StarCraft or some crap. Which
possibly
isn't it just it's a 2D like straight line essentially, right? You're not making decisions. You're just going the fastest path. There's no way that can be that much more complicated than StarCraft. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm very kind of like hesitant to believe people when they say, "Oh, something's harder than anything else."
I think he was just talking out of his ass a little bit.
I don't see that it is. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Like no doubt, like it's an achievement, and they've done some great work. Sure.
Well, isn't this like there's just an end to it, like, right? You just get the fastest path, and that's it. Is there can't be a faster path than the fastest path?
Well, not only that,
right?
but it's actually Drekken will love this. I think it's a Sarsa bot.
Oh, like a learning?
It's a state action response state action.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
So like if it gets hit by like another car or something.
Like it's just updating what the state is, and then because there's no, I guess one thing that makes it like hugely different from StarCraft, there's not really hidden information that's relevant. Like if someone's way behind you and you can't see them, well, they're not relevant anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like a complicated thing.
They're not going to blue shell you or teleport.
Yeah, you know the track. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, teach it to play Mario Kart instead of instead of Gran Turismo, and I'll be more impressed. But yeah, I think that's what it is.
Do that on the Mario Kart ladder? Can we do that? Mario Kart?
I don't know if there is a Mario Kart ladder, but I mean,
there's got to be a rank system.
Possibly could. The problem with doing something like that is Mario isn't really available on PC or any machine that people can hack with. Like I've tried playing with like Wii and Wii sort of like programming, and that's not a good experience for anyone.
Yeah.
There are several very, very insane Nintendo devs who could probably testify to that as well.
All right, what else we got? Oh, we got news here as well. Okay, so the Gran Turismo thing. I think that was it for the AI stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so end of ladder season. So you guys just finished up a ladder. You just started a new one as well, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that a little.
Yeah, so obviously we finished up just before ProBots, so to enable qualification. Zoe was finishing second on the ladder, highest ever feed for that bot, and that's been ramping up. And every single season, Zoe ends up higher and higher and higher on the ladder. So yeah, it's going really well. And, hopefully, I think we're soon going to see that challenging for the top places and getting up there. So yeah.
Is it the year of Zerg? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's been
We've got
Protoss.
Eris,
It's
we've
been
got Zoe.
it's been Terran focused for so long that
Ovakin's a Terran killer too. Like Terrans don't
Yeah.
stand a chance, man. They're done for this season.
I would say they're done for.
Not
There's
done.
still there's still a lot of very good Terrans out there. But yeah, no, Soup Catch is the author of Zoe. Has done a very good job, and also very active in the community. Had a few new bots coming on. So we had 3 new bots qualify for ProBots, which was Canonina, Phantom Bot, and
Zunk.
Zed Punk
Zunk.
or
Zunk.
whatever.
Zunk. How do you
Zunk
pronounce
P.
that? I've
Zunk
never
P.
worked out.
Should have said Zunk
It's
P.
like Zunk P. It's not even Protoss. It's got a capital P at the end, and it's not even
Oh.
Protoss. That's triggered me, man.
Yeah.
Because that's how Tier does his part. Is Tier P, Tier, you're breaking our brains, Zunk. That's all right. But yeah, no, it's really cool that so many new authors are kind of starting to trickle in a little bit.
Yeah,
that's exciting because that's what's gonna make these bots better and better is more competition, more kind of like Enderso was saying, with the 2 people you only have so many connections with. The more and more you add, just the more scenarios there are, and the better your bots are going to be, or they're going to learn. So
yeah,
very cool. What else we got? Yeah, Hearthstone played versus Eris, and I'm sure we've all seen
relatively
seen
fast speed.
point.
You see that this number constantly changing on the hatchery. The reason for that is, of course, because every single time a drone isn't actually on a mining command.
Must be a good game if Hearthstone was casting it.
Yeah, it's good. Hearthstone.
You watched it?
Yeah. Hearthstone actually done a really good job casting at the World Championships as well. So maybe like our bots prepared him well for that. So, but yeah, it's always nice to have like one of the top pros play against the bots, and it does bring a bit more exposure. And obviously he's got a huge following. He's great. He's been hanging out in the Discord as well and chatting to us. So it's really been really good for us.
Yeah, Scarlet's there helping out. Thermal even played a match. Yeah, it's cool getting the pros inside. Into
Scarlet's actually been helping us a lot with the maps and getting all the latest patch data. So if you see the new patches in the next season, it's all because of Scarlet, and couldn't do it without her help. So yeah, but it's always good when you get a bit of recognition and some of the top players come in. So yeah.
And I guess there's our final little thing here. I guess there was a problem on the Russian client for playing humans versus bots. It just wasn't working. I don't know anything about this. So.
Yeah, sorry. So I've been working very hard in recent weeks on an update to the human VAI client. I had hoped to have that out this weekend, but due to other things and not Elden Ring, I swear, I haven't managed to quite finish it yet.
Okay.
So,
but it's in the works. So
yeah. So the problem was essentially that if the user of the machine had any Cyrillic characters in their username, it wouldn't recognize the directory of the actual StarCraft client, and therefore basically decided that it didn't want to play at all. So we have fixed that now.
So almost a punctuation error.
Yeah, I think it was just sanctions.
Yeah. We've sanctioned Cyrillic, even though that's actually affecting the Ukrainians as well. But
I said no politics.
Sorry.
It's inevitable.
It's not politics. It's just coding.
Yeah. So it's just coding. But yeah. So Al Kurbatov from another guy in the SC2AI Discord was the one who figured that out, because he is basically has Cyrillic in his username. So I was completely confused. I was like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. Like, I'm not seeing it on my machine. Like, what the hell are you guys playing at? But no, he was the one who figured it out in the end.
Awesome.
So I have to give thanks to him. And there's a few other features as well. Ketrock mentioned yesterday that he figured out a way to get Java bots playing without installing the whole Java client, which is a possibility. So, if we can do that, it will probably increase the download size of the client. But to be honest, like going from a few meg to maybe 120 meg, hopefully shouldn't make too much of a difference.
No, I wouldn't imagine. Well, and then we're getting more Java bots too, so that's really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. We're getting a load of new languages. We've got Go, Rust. It's pretty good.
Well,
I'm
big
still
shout out to all of you working hard on making this stuff work, because you guys are pretty much building this from the ground up, right?
Definitely.
A lot of this. Obviously, we have the Sharpie framework and stuff like that, but that's somebody had to build that too.
Yeah, that's not available in the other languages as well, which makes it impressive. I'm still waiting for someone to use assembly language to build a bot. Can't wait for that one.
Just basic.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and use punch cards.
Oh, please do.
The old school.
Definitely.
Just one per frame.
Yeah.
What would you name that bot?
I name it after Apu from the scene. There's a scene in The Simpsons where Homer destroys his tic-tac-toe game, I think it was. Or it was Bart. It was Bart that pulls one out and they all go flying.
Yeah. I think I remember.
Yeah, tic-tac-toe, tic-tac-toe, the original solved game.
Yes.
Yeah, where's our tic-tac-toe bot?
Solved to the point that it averted a nuclear war.
What?
That's a that's a deep cut reference to war games.
That was war games. Yeah, sorry, I was just struggling to remember the film there, and I can picture the scene. I just couldn't remember the film name. But hopefully we won't have to avert a nuclear war anytime. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not going to go there.
I know. I think about that every day, man. All it takes is one crazy asshole to ruin it for everybody. One turd in the punch bowl ruins the whole party for everybody.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. All right. I think Drek, you got anything else for us? I think that was all our news. No fail bots yet. Do we have fail bots coming up in the future? Is that a thing?
In the future,
maybe. We'll see. Yes, it's going to be a thing. Drek will bring you some fail bots in the near future, everybody. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on next week, and then we'll wrap things up here. Because, it's getting late for you. What is it, like 2 a.m. or something?
It's only 1 a.m. there.
Oh, 1 a.m., okay.
10
Not
to
too
1,
bad.
so, yeah, it's fine.
Not too bad.
It's a Friday night.
Yeah, stay up, party a little bit. Well, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and chit-chatting and getting your knowledge, because I definitely don't know a lot about anything still. So
anytime, guys. It's been a pleasure.
This is good. And I'm excited to see how the ladder's going to keep growing, and these bots these bots are getting crazy good. Eris versus Gensi bot will be our first match next week. I am so excited for this one. A lot riding on this one for me. Sharpened Edge versus Spud. That will also be good. We were talking about Sharpened Edge a little bit last night, and he's one of our veterans at this point. He's been around for a long time. No veteran this season. What happened? Was he on the ladder?
No,
I didn't see him on the ladder.
He wasn't on the ladder last season, so I don't know what's happened to him. He'll probably be back at some point, I guess.
I hope so. Yeah, no, he was really good. And then Zoe versus Zunk. Do you know anything about Zunk? Have you seen that on the ladder?
I haven't really been looking at it, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise. So
excellent. I like surprises.
Yeah.
And then Dominion Dog and Tier.
That one will be interesting.
That's going to be a banger.
I think that's the most unpredictable one to me. I don't know. I did go with Tier, but I don't know.
I can't remember who I went with on that one.
Yeah.
I think I possibly went with Tier as well. But...
Dominion, no, it's almost it's risky to vote against Dominion Dog sometimes.
Yeah. Yes.
But this is going to be just such a clash.
Yeah. I just wanted to wear my Thanos glove again, so I had to vote for him.
Yes, so I did vote for Tier. Yeah. But I do have Dominion Dog making a bit of a run through the lower bracket. So. Yeah.
Who'd you vote for? Mind me. Who do you think's gonna win? Yeah. Oh, we lost Yada Hunt. He was here hanging out. But yeah, none. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Mind me in the chat and Yada Hunt. And if you're in the Crown Club watching the VOD, you can come join us live. Friday nights we do this. 5:30 or no, that's 5:30 my time. 7:30 Eastern. So you can figure it out from there. But yeah, it's gonna be good games. This is gonna be a good season.
Definitely. Looking
Got
forward
hurt
to it.
badly by Sharkbot losing. Yeah, same buddy. Same here. Yeah, no, it's gonna be good, and yeah, go check out AIarena.net. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with that if you're in the Crown Club, but if you're not, go check it out. And they've got the Twitch stream always running. I like to when I'm sitting here doing stuff, just kind of pop it up and listen to the StarCraft music and watch these bots go at it a little bit, because you get some fun games on there. You see a lot of fun stuff. These bots have some interesting matchups sometimes. Who's your favorite matchup, do you think, Cryptious? Do you have a favorite matchup?
So, like, my favorite match ever was the final we done for the Season 9 tournament, I think. It was Micro Machine against Gency. And it just, it was the one that literally looked like you had fights everywhere on the map for the whole 5 games. And, like, that to me is still, like, the classic, my favorite match of all time.
Well, that's what StarCraft should be, just battles everywhere. It's like little skirmishes.
Yeah.
None of that A-move death ball stuff for you, right?
No.
What about you, Endersword? You got a favorite matchup?
I think it might even be that one. I think that was the one that at the time that those two had played, we were like, this is the highest level game that's ever been played. It was just so strategic, and like the way that they clashed was really good. Yeah, I remember. I think at the time we said that this is the best one there's ever been. Yeah,
it was crazy good.
EVTs, they are very good.
Yeah.
I think Gency versus any Zerg, I think, is probably my favorite matchup, because that's kind of where you get that same scenario. A lot of little skirmishes, little things going on everywhere, drops and multi-prong attacks. And
I did also love. I should suggest the finals from last season, the -0 adept control, because it felt like at one point it kept feeling like it was going to fall apart and he was going to push back, but he just swarmed with the adepts and like the immortals coming in, and it just was on a razor's edge for like 10-15 minutes, and then it just collapsed. I thought that was quite good as well.
Definitely. Such good games.
It's been a lot. Yeah. We've got a lot more to come. So
more to come. Yes, join us next week. We will be back with more games, our lower half of the round of 16. We're going to knock some more bots into the lower bracket. And we'll do more post bots, I think. We don't know who we're having next week on post bots yet, do we? Is that kind of a week to week?
Kind of a week to week.
Yeah. Week to week. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll let you know. It'll be a mystery, but hopefully Kedrock will be able to join us.
Yeah, that's always the big mystery
today. Yeah, it's always a mystery if he'll join or not. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Mind Me, and thank you everybody for watching the VOD, and thank you so much for being a part of the Crown Club, because you absolutely help so much to make all this possible and make it look good. And we're having a blast doing this. At least I am. I hope you guys are. You all having fun? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, there's nobody. Drexama isn't off screen with a gun to anybody. Said, we promise they're having fun. No one's being forced. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Drexama, say goodbye to everybody. They love
bye, everybody.
Catch you later.
There you
bye.
Go. Bye. Have a good night. We'll see you on Thursday next week.